we were told at the beginning of 6 Inches by a certain journalist that it's all about doom and gloom, and it's only when you tell people they're going to die they're going to make any changes. But some serious psychological studies are totally the opposite from that, and we know that hope. And I just think what you said earlier, Sheila, about the younger people coming in. I'm seeing more and more in comms and people I'm talking to, because I think we are all driven by these and our hands are being occupied in that way. I think they're realizing that they're rotting their brains being driven in a certain way, and that AI is driving you, and that actually you need to get back to what's innately human, which is using your hands, producing food, being outside, seeing something. And even as you guys are talking about, there might not be that huge gold ticket and the huge dollar sign at the end of it. But like when you look at different economics, and we're looking at Kate Raworth and regenerative economics, we're putting well-being at the center of everything, and that's what we're discussing here, and that gives me hope.
Another world is possible. I'm old enough to have lived through the Thatcher revolution and to see that there was a different. People go, oh well, there's nothing you can do about what's going on now. It's capitalism, and you think, well, yes, it is capitalism, but it's capitalism on steroids. We used to have a capitalism that was balanced against, public interest, a legal system that controlled, mergers and acquisitions, that you could, there was another world. It wasn't that long ago. Another world is possible. And when I watched all those hundreds of graduates walk out of the Stanford University graduation last week, that film because the chief CEO of Google was giving the graduation speech, I thought, another world is possible. There is hope. As I feel when I go to, I was at the Academy of Cheese. It sounds like such a small thing, but I was at the Academy of Cheese Awards a couple of days ago, and it was called Affineur of the Year, which sounds frightfully posh and everything. But to see these small cheesemakers, why are they doing this? Why are they making this quality cheese? They'll never get rich. They won't. These young people who are getting into the business of maturing cheese and making cheese, and you think, yes, the decent human beings wanting to live life by good values and loving each other and wanting the world to be a better place and respecting nature and noticing the world. They're there, and that's hopeful.
In 6 inches of soil our world comes alive, a podcast of passion where all souls thrive. Soil mates unite in a bold common chase, building our future through Earth's living grace.